All right, so for the fans who don't know, you're Raymond Elizalde, man. You're undefeated. Wait, 9-0 right now, right?
Yes,
You're
sir.
next fighting for RFA 38 at the hangar in Costa Mesa this weekend. It's great to have you on the show again, man. And how are you doing, man? You just came down from Colorado back to California. How's everything going?
Everything's going great. I've just been training the past 5 months over there at Bang Muay Thai headquarters with Dwayne Ludwig, TJ Dillashaw, Matt, the Immortal Brown, a bunch of other UFC fighters right there at Muscle Farm Gym. It was a great experience. I took this fight in a 2 week notice, but like I said, I've been training the past couple months consistently, so I feel great.
That's quite like a lineup, man. You have Muscle Farm and you have Dwayne. Talk to us about the experience with those guys and specifically your Muay Thai training with Dwayne.
What we focused on a lot was the footwork, the head movement, working the angles, fighting orthodox and southpaw. It really is a one of a kind, unique training system, and I've been doing mixed martial arts for about 10 years, and I've trained in many striking arts, shelling, kung fu, taekwondo, kickboxing, boxing, Muay Thai, you name it, I've done it, and there's nothing like that system there. So I've definitely learned a lot, and I can't wait to show my skills this upcoming Friday.
Cool.
How was TJ working with TJ and all the guys over there? How was it working with Dwayne? You always hear about them being like these personalities of like Dwayne, just like ADHD Dwayne, and then you have like TJ is just overly aggressive in the gym. TJ, so are these true, or is it just how was it your experience over there with those guys?
Well, I actually stopped by Team Alpha Male in the past, back when Dwayne was the head striking coach over there, and it was a different environment because your IFA were owned that gym, and it was also nothing but fighters. Whereas now that Dwayne has his own kickboxing gym, and it's not all fighters. There is a lot of fighters there, but it's to the general public as well. So it's a lot different. It's a whole different vibe. And he said in the past too, he didn't want to coach nothing but fighters because it's very stressful, and everybody was taught a certain ways of training throughout the years. So there's a lot of people who like bump heads and stuff like that with the coaches. Like, oh, I was taught this way. I like to throw strikes like this, like that. But it's hard to start with adults rather than with children and starting fresh,
Right.
because they
Yeah.
absorb everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was no egos, no nothing. As for TJ, he just trains hard. I mean, he was the previous champion, and he goes hard all the time. But I mean, he's not there to beat the crap out of you. Everybody critiques each other, and everybody teaches each other. So everybody's constantly learning and bettering one another. So.
Awesome. Well, I know before, Dwayne had mentioned that he didn't want to work with fighters, like you said. So is Dwayne like your new Muay Thai head coach permanently going on?
Well, now I'm actually permanently in California now. Right now I'm in the Imperial Valley, but I'll be moving back to San Diego like in a month or so. And I actually have a lot of coaches out there that I work with one-on-one. So what I'll be doing is I'll be flying out to Colorado to continue working with Muscle Farm and Dwayne Ludwig as well. Um, he's my main kickboxing coach now. So when I go back out there to work that style of striking, but like I said, right now I'm at the Shaolin Kung Fu school, so I'm working my Kung Fu and Taekwondo, and then when I go back to San Diego, I'll be working my boxing, Muay Thai, kickboxing as well up there. So I have different instructors of each art. So a lot of people frown upon that, especially certain arts like Muay Thai. Like if you're with King Tiger Muay Thai, you shouldn't be training with like fuck it Top Team or City on Tongue or something. But thankfully, my trainers are understandable, and they know. And every mixed martial artist is different, and it's a never-ending learning experience. And each martial artist creates their own craft, so you'll never
Right.
find one martial art or two martial artists that have the same styles of fighting.
Yeah. And so, is there one school or one camp that you're gonna be working at in San Diego, like where you're gonna be training majority of the time, like, or is it just you're gonna just continue moving from school to school?
I actually the main three schools I work with in San Diego are San Diego Combat Academy, which is also 10th Planet Jiu Jitsu, Black House MMA in San Diego, and I work a little bit here and there at Undisputed as well, and and the arena as well to work with Jesse Taylor and a couple other guys in the wrestling MMA and wrestling department.
Yeah.
So I have my boxing coach and one of my Muay Thai coaches is actually from there as well.
Oh, cool.
Now, as far as your training camp goes, are you gonna be doing what these new fighters are doing, as far as having the training camps, like evolve around them only, and having a training camp just for yourself, or will you be doing a training camp with the whole team?
Well, I have a lot of friends and fighters from each gym, so they all have my number. I tell them whenever they need me to come in and work with them, just let me know. But once I'm permanently moved back in San Diego, I'll be helping out everybody with their fight camps. In terms of sparring, though, I limit myself in the sparring. I help out some of my friends here and there in their fight camps when they really need it. But I've been doing this a long time, so I usually spar about 2, 3, and 4 weeks out, hard sparring, and then the majority of my sparring is technical sparring, which is also what Dwayne Ludwig focuses on there. So it's not just everybody trying to take their head off and stuff like that.
Right.
And talk about when you got the word to fight at RFA 38, when you officially signed a contract. It was only a short time ago that obviously you're like a replacement for another fighter was supposed to fight Richard. So talk about when you got the word and then, how you feel about fighting for RFA, man.
I feel great. I'm working with Paradigm Management, and they just hit me up about it was about a 2-week notice, and I said sure, I'll take the fight. I looked him up, looked up my opponent, Richard Alarcon. He trains at a Team Oyama with and also Lotus Jiu Jitsu with Ian McCall, Carl Esparza, and all those guys. So they like to come out with their strikes and set up their takedowns. So I know he's going to shoot and try to take it to the ground eventually. But I feel confident. Like I said, I've been training every art for the past 10 years, and I've been working the past 5 months at Muscle Farm and Bang Muay Thai, and also working with Leister Bowling and those guys. Those guys are high-level wrestling coaches over there. So I feel pretty confident going into this fight. As for Richard, he is a Division I wrestler, purple belt in jiu-jitsu, and I guess a Muay Thai fighter. But a lot of times with Muay Thai fighters, they're a bit stationary. Like I said, I train multiple striking styles, and working with at Bang Muay Thai, we cut a lot of angles, footwork, fight in both stances, and a lot of head movement. So it's not your traditional Muay Thai and boxing where you just, you have big gloves and you're able to actually block the shots. That's a big problem with a lot of MMA fighters. They get used to blocking the shots, and then they go into the MMA fight, and then these little gloves are still getting through.
Right.
Yeah.
So over there, we're focusing on actually getting in and out, cutting the angles, slipping and dipping, and a lot of feints. So, I mean, it's going to show in this fight this Friday. So
Awesome. I mean, training with guys at Muscle Farm and in Dwayne, like, you must have this confidence that's so high right now. Are you excited to show off your new tools this Friday night?
Yes, absolutely. I have so many tools in my arsenal. To me, an MMA fight is just a humongous chess match, and it only takes one wrong move to get put away. But I know from my past fights, I haven't been able to display all my arts or my techniques. And in this fight, I'm gonna make it entertaining and exciting, but unfortunately, I don't think I'm gonna be able to display all my arts as well, because such as, like, I'm training here at Shelling Kung Fu, and we throw a lot of, like, spinning hook kicks and jumping spinning hook kicks and stuff like that. But I'm gonna keep that obviously to a minimum, because this guy is gonna be focused on shooting underneath every time I throw, like, a high kick or something like that. So. But I have some tricks up my sleeve ready for him. So.
All right, man. That smirk says it all, man.
Yeah, and you're obviously you train regularly. It's like you never really have any off time, so you feel like your conditioning is going to be pretty much up to par, and to go like all 3 rounds with this guy.
Yeah, I was training pretty hard. Actually, I've been training pretty hard that whole time I was out there, and especially the previous 2 weeks leading up to this fight when I was informed about it. But this past weekend, I was just traveling pretty much. We drove all the way from Colorado to Park City, Utah, enjoyed some time there, and did some zip line stuff, and then stopped in Las Vegas, and then now I'm back in the Imperial Valley. So that was a good little weekend of rest and recovery, which I needed, and now it's focused on game planning and cutting the weight. And right now I'm about 10 pounds out, so I feel good.
Nice.
Awesome. Now, for the fans who don't know, you actually tried out for the Ultimate Fighter, but obviously the UFC canceled that. Any plans to compete or to try out for the Ultimate Fighter? And I know right now you're a bantamweight fighter. Are you going to be switching from bantamweight to flyweight, or is bantamweight your permanent home?
Yes, I actually I'm open to fight flyweight and bantamweight or catchweight. My last fight was actually at flyweight, and I felt pretty good with the weight cut, and I didn't even use an IV or anything like that. And I know those are the new rules that they're implementing now, and being within 8% of your weight or about 10 pounds out the week of the fight. So shouldn't be a problem. The weight cut doesn't really affect me too much. I walk around about 145 normally, so I feel good. Ready to go.
Cool, dude.
So Ray, it was the Memorial Day weekend. Today's Memorial Day. How did you enjoy your weekend? What did you do for fun? You talked about zip lining. How was that? Are you that adrenaline junkie type of guy? How was it for you?
It was exciting. I've been training hard these past couple months, and especially these last 2 weeks leading up to this fight. Once I was informed about it, so pretty much this weekend I was just traveling and stuff, and we stopped in Park City, Utah, and Las Vegas, and did some zip lining out there. But yeah, it was just some rest and recovery that I needed, definitely.
Yeah.
And I actually got a professional massage yesterday as well, so I'm
Ooh.
feeling good right now.
Girl?
What's that?
A girl?
Yeah, of course, of course.
Right.
All right, man. Yeah, if you want, give us an idea of what your sponsors, how the fans can find you on social media. Just let everybody know how to get a hold of you, man.
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram at thebloodhound01. And pretty much I just like to give a shout out to Lisa Bowling at Muscle Farm, Dwayne Ludwig at Bang Muay Thai, and Brian Walker right here at Shelling Kung Fu. And also Tony Ferguson for cornering me for my upcoming fight, and so a shout out for his upcoming fight against Michael Chiesa.
Cool.
Nice. That's gonna be really cool.
Yeah. Well, thanks. Yeah, thanks, Faye, for coming on, man. It was awesome seeing you on cam, because before we talked to you through audio, so it was nice to see you on camera, and good luck with your fight, man. This Friday night, Josh and I'll probably be there this weekend. So until then, dude, relax, and we'll see you on Friday, brother.
Sounds good. Thanks a lot, guys. You guys have a good one.
You too, brother.